Today is March 4th. We're back from Tampa, and there's good news, bad news, and middle-of-the-road news to be discussed. We'll be doing that.
Talking Yanks with old John Boy. John Boy and Jake. Recaps galore, weekly awards, stat lines, theme, and hot takes. Get your Yankees news from these two fine dudes. It's time for Talking Yanks.
Hey!
Talking Yanks with old John Boy. John Boy and Jake. Talking Yanks with old John Boy. John Boy and Jake.
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Yanks. Thank you very much for joining us today. My name is Jimmy. His name is Jake. We got producer BBD behind the dish. Brought to you by SeatGeek. And we've got some stuff to discuss. We had a nice time in Tampa with the fellas. We played golf. Heels hurt. DJ got hurt. Stanton's missing opening day. What does that mean for pitching? Who's going to be third baseman? Left fielder? Fifth starter? Stuff to discuss. Jake, how are you?
Good afternoon, everybody. Jim, Davis, everyone tuning in. I'm doing all right. We had a nice trip to Tampa. It ended with us watching the hour-long video of Mike and the Mad Dog interviewing George Steinbrenner for an hour. No ads.
1990.
The most intense questions you've heard interviewers ever ask. And the most intense answers you've heard anyone ever answer. We'll add a link in the description. We might not. And yeah, me and Jim were getting emotional because Mad Dog was 36. Or no, Mike was 36.
Francesa was 36. Mad Dog
was
was
31, which is how I look.
Mm-hmm. And how I feel.
And how you feel. So
I feel 28.
Next time we got Boone by the ball sack. That's our fitness inspo.
It was crazy. It's kind of just a different.
Crazy.
Go listen to it if you've never listened to it. It's unbelievable. It wouldn't fly today because the internet
the clips
and people.
And stuff, but.
I do think what Mike and Mad Dog did was unique at the time as well, and different. But also, it's just a different age where like those types of conversations don't really exist anymore. Which they do maybe in person, but not on like because people are just so rude.
Yeah,
like, I kind of wish they did.
It's a must listen. Go check it out. Steinbrenner. Some of the stats and facts he has ready to go are better than like any Talkin' Yanks episode ever.
That's I've listened to this interview. This was the third time I've listened to it. Yeah. But you put that in my brain this time that Steinbrenner was just ripping off stats and names in conversation in flow without like looking them up, and there's no internet to look them up. Like there's no internet.
No.
Or there's no
not
prep.
baseball
There's no
reference.
prep. And when you have that in mind and you listen to that, it is unbelievable. Anyway, we didn't plan on opening with
for another
that,
time.
but it's a great thing that you should watch.
Let's the injuries are happening.
Yes. The injuries are happening. We got into the scrum with Boone. It was the first time. He did the scrum. We were there. He was talking to reporters. We were all leaning our head in and being silly willy and opens up with heel. Going for an MRI.
Joe's McFly inside the scrum.
BBD ran, told Kyle we were the first people to have that news on the airwaves.
Well, technically, it opened with, when I have an update on Stanton, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Which was strong. That was a good Booneism.
Yeah.
That was a good Booneism.
Yeah.
And yeah, then we were like being goofy. We're at spring training. Joe's is in the scrum with the beat reporters. This is funny. And then he's like, yeah, heel. Not his elbow, but his shoulder. And you're like, oh, okay. So that's not good. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, you always expect to leave camp missing a starting pitcher too. And I guess the dartboard had heel.
Heel goes down, and it's a bad one. It's going to be a while if he returns this season. When you compare it to past injuries of the same level, so it's a lat strain. It is a grade.
I don't know if they said an official number, but they said high grade.
High grade.
High grade.
Which means
You don't want a high grade.
Means out for a while. They said he's going to be shut down for 6 weeks. That means doing nothing for 6 weeks. So the fastest he would come back would be like end of May, June.
That's if everything's perfect.
But that also, none of the high grade in history match with that. Severino had a high grain lat strain in 2019, diagnosed April 9th. He pitched September 17th. He missed 5 months and 18 days. So you're looking at that. He might be back in September, basically.
Yeah, there was Clark Schmidt, similar strain last year. Again, we don't know the degree of Luis Gil's, but Clark Schmidt was also built up from spring training, and he had been pitching well. Clark Schmidt,
3 months.
He got hurt May 26th. He came back September 7th. If you do remember, the Yankees were delaying Clark a little bit just because they were making the playoffs. There's no need. Like, Clark Schmidt was like,
The other starters were there.
Please call me up. I'm ready to pitch Major League Baseball. But, yeah, Gil is not built up for this season. Double Tommy John, coming off a big innings load, his biggest innings load last year.
They're going to be delicate.
That
Gil, too.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see the next updates, but you have to assume probably best case would be even
After the break.
trade deadline.
Yeah, around trade deadline.
Which,
definitely after the break.
As of this second, that's the time you should be thinking.
Expect to hear, the Yankees when the trade deadline's coming back. Like, Luis Gil's going to join this rotation.
Yeah,
But
and at the end of 6 weeks is when we'll get news again, because high grade means it could need surgery. So, like, it's 6 weeks, and then you see where you're at again. They could say it's still really bad. Pitchers, there's a report that the Medical of Science and whatever it is, Institute of Health, did a report on lat strains in MLB pitchers, and they documented 170 of them. 3 out of 4 return to play.
okay.
Ones that don't get surgery, their performance is worse afterwards.
Sure.
Ones that get surgery to repair it and then take the time return at the same skill is what I think the report said. I was in there yesterday. So Stroman's in the rotation.
Yeah.
And I don't know, you got Will Warren looks good so far. Cookie Carrasco, if they can keep him around as depth, he's looked good in his 1 or 2 appearances.
How'd Clark do when he came back last year? 24.2, 365. So, Clark Schmidt-ish.
It was really good before it, though.
Yeah, I mean, this was huge. Marcus Stroman, I mean, that conversation that we kind of, I guess we didn't know it would be squashed. We all assumed he was going to get traded between the Yankees financials, which we might have to circle back on that sometime because the Yankees are slightly over the luxury tax, which has kind of, I know in the brief conversations we've had, has been like, well, if you're going to do it, do you...
Slightly over the final tier.
Right, the last tier. It's like, okay, well, do you blow the roof? Not blow the roof. Well, yeah, Yankee fans should want to think blow the roof off that. But if you're going to go over, which brings up third base and pitching and everything else. But Stroman, I am happy that I'm happy that we try to think, because every time I've talked about Stroman, yeah, he was the odd man out of this rotation. And I haven't said this part, but a lot of people would be. Like, the Yankees, before the Luis Gil injury, Rookie of the Year, Rodon got is it 9-figure contract? Yeah. Garrett Cole has one of the biggest, got the biggest contract in pitching history at one point, and Max Fried got $200 million. And the last guy in that rotation was Clark Schmidt, who, hey, Marcus Stroman in his prime probably takes Clark Schmidt. That'd be an interesting fight. We'll set it up, celebrity death match. But Marcus Stroman. And I didn't realize how good Stroman was in his first 12 starts last year were actually Marcus Stroman. And that's kind of what happened with the Cubs last year, the year before that too. If you remember, he had electric first half. He got banged up. But Marcus Stroman, with what was said, Marcus Stroman is one of the bigger, like, contact-ish pitchers in baseball. And we saw what happened to the Yankees defense, that now that these are a new brand of Yankees baseball, and looking at Stroman's first half last year, I won't say I'm on cloud 9, but it's like, yes, I'm good with that.
Yeah, it's a good 6 starter. Paying a lot for it. Will Warren also looks good. Go watch the video of Stroman and the defense behind him. Remember that?
Right.
All the errors behind him.
Stroman got hurt the worst. I think the numbers and videos back then.
Oh, yeah. It was negative 13 outs above average for Stroman as a pitcher.
That's not good.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way we can cook that? Like, I know this isn't how it works, but like if we put defenders on the field that were minus 13 outs above average. Like the player comps there have to be brutally defensive players.
Outs
Like
above
what was Glibber?
average leaderboard.
Am I saying that right?
28. That's 2018 Glibber. You're looking for negative 13 defenders.
I guess so, yeah.
Okay, Brian Reynolds in left field.
Okay, former Yankee.
So we're making an all bad defense team. From
kind
last
of.
year.
This wouldn't be how it works because I don't.
Okay, C.J. Abrams at shortstop.
Okay.
Christopher Morel's at third base.
Doesn't have a position.
Brian Reynolds in left field.
That's weird, but okay.
Luis Ariz
Okay.
is at first base.
A guy that doesn't have a position.
Adolis Garcia is in right field.
Tough year.
We're looking for a second baseman. Jorge Polanco.
Tough year.
Moved to third this year,
Yeah,
I believe is the plan.
So I
this
don't
is
know.
last year. What position did I not name? Center field?
Sure.
Austin Martin was negative 8 outs above average.
Dang. Infielder.
I guess a lot of times the center fielder group.
Judge was
bad,
negative
you move
6.
them.
The point is,
Yanks defense was
Yanks were bad. So, hey, Stroman happy?
Stroman, is he happy? Maybe. He got roughed up in his last spring start. You know, and
He was
he's-
working on things.
Of course. There's going to be a segment where we find out what matters and what doesn't matter. You're going to let everyone know.
Will Warren?
He's happy.
Is he okay? Maybe is this the game? Is he the sixth starter or someone who's like more vintage?
Vintage. Probably for roster management. If another starter goes down, Cookie Carrasco.
If Cookie looks,
because then they
If the spot opens up,
yeah, because otherwise they'd lose Cookie Carrasco if they went with Warren. But who knows? Who knows? Yankees. Rizzo was negative 3, and he's not on the team anymore. Glaber is negative 4,
so could we
and he's not on the team anymore.
get the Yankees? Maybe what it is we take out the Yankees' good defenders and we plug in other ones that it's like, okay, so Rizzo negative 3, Glaber
Yeah.
negative 4. That brings us to negative 7. Math
Yeah.
pod.
Juan Soto negative 5.
Okay, and we're there.
Yeah, and those 3 guys aren't playing on the team anymore.
Right.
And Judge was negative 6, and he's going to right field
Where he's good.
So,
And that's not bad.
and that's not bad. Let's talk about comfort where it matters most. Your underwear. Skims feel good. I'm wearing a pair on my head right now. The other day, I wore my pair of Skims on my other area where you wear your underwear, and I felt put together. I felt comfy the entire day. Skims is the official underwear partner of the NBA, the WNBA, and USA Basketball, and the brand known for revolutionizing shapewear. They've launched a line of men's underwear that's about to change your daily routine. Skims offers 3 distinct fabric prints, each designed with your needs in mind. Their cotton blend provides lasting comfort for everyday wear, while the stretch fabric gives you that perfect fit that moves with you. That had to be what I was wearing the other day. I got home and I was like, man, I still feel like I could do stuff. And then I was like, oh, it's probably these Skims I'm wearing. They also have the wick away stuff, so your sweat is not even a factor. Light compression for your workouts. Shop Skims Men's at skims.com. Let them know we sent you. After you place the order, select podcast in the survey and select our show in the drop-down menu that follows. Thank you, Skims. So that's Heel. Bummer.
Bummer about Heel. Hopefully he could be an X factor towards later in the year.
I mean, Sevy, when he came back in 2019, he was on the playoff team. Remember that?
Was that bullpen 1 inning, Sevy?
Yep. Like
Which-
Heel might come back and be a bullpen. It's a tough injury. A high-grade lat strain you can come back from, but too many people hear that shut down for 6 weeks, and like I saw someone be like, oh, so maybe he's back in May. It's like, no way.
No.
it's like literally if he does the 6 weeks no throw, everything's perfect. 6-week ramp up, very end of May, very, 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 very best case scenario, and he has a high grade strain. So like,
Yes.
I know people
Really
don't-
unlikely.
I know people don't want to hear this, but those Sevy 2019 bullpen numbers. 12 innings pitched, 17 strikeouts, 2 earned runs.
In the postseason,
That was the regular season end of 2019. Did he do well in the postseason too?
he started. Those aren't
2021 when he missed time.
2019. He was started.
2019.
But he came back and only played 3 games that
Yeah.
season.
That's what. You said 2019, so I went there.
No, in 2019, he came back
Right.
and he started 3 games.
Yes.
Yeah, it wasn't relief.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
And then he started in the postseason too.
Yeah.
So that's like what you could be seeing out of field here. Now, granted, Sevy had like a shoulder injury in March, and then as he was ramping up, they found the lat injury. So he's dealing with multiple things. But I still think you want to look at All-Star break, trade deadline, when Gil would be.
Like that's when, I mean, it's kind of rude how the world of baseball works, but that's the next time our ears are really going to be on for Sevy, I think. I mean, I'm sure he's going to have to do a full spring training.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he's going to be rehabbing. So I guess a little before that if he ends up on that timeline, because we'll be like, oh, Sevy started in low A today, threw 40 pitches. But probably not till like July.
Yeah. Bummer, because he was our X factor.
X Factor.
But they do have depth in that department, so that's good.
And people like the way Will Warren looks.
Yeah. I do like the way he's looked. We'll see it again. Spring matters so much, but if he looked the same as last year, I'd be like,
Right. Slider's got more vertical break instead of sweep.
And the 2-seam is like, too. It's like, ding, 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 ding.
They were comparing him to Clark at camp.
Ding, 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 ding. And the fact that he has a lot of pitches and then has to figure out how to pitch with them.
His evolution.
Yeah.
Comparing to Clark.
Okay, next up, Stan starting on the IL. Officially.
What? Yeah.
And he's still dealing with personal matters, so nothing there. And then next up after that, DJ LeMahieu hurt his calf in his second at-bat of his first spring debut, where he DH'd.
Yep.
Tweaked his calf muscle. He got an MRI. He's getting an MRI today. Boone said it's a little concerning.
Yeah.
DJ said not anything major, but it's probably going to be a little bit. I wanted to come in this spring and prove that I'm healthy, and I'm not off to the hottest start with that. Now, all of DJ's quotes continue to be very sad. But when he said hi to us, he was chipper.
Pre-injury.
Yeah, I think he did say hi to us, and he was nice. A little more than we expected from DJ. That we were like, dang. He was the first one out for BP. Obviously, like a brutal break for him. And yeah, I know the quotes are sad, but in a way they're honest. Like I think we would, I think we'd be giving we'd be harsher if DJ's like, I feel like it's 2019. Like we'd be like, no, you don't. That's a lie. Like he's kind of saying, I've got to earn it. I've been bad. I haven't felt great. And I think I think this takes a decision out of the Yankees' hands. Like I think you can, Dom Smith, who might already be in because of Giancarlo, but some of the roster stuff that we've been dancing around, like this is probably the best for DJ and the Yankees. Like you can start the year on the IL, go play some games at AAA, and see how it feels. And like, hey, if you look a little bit like DJ LeMahieu, I would, if you look like DJ LeMahieu, there's going to be a spot on this team. If there's not, then you're going to start seeing some funny business, and DJ got banged up at AAA, and the beginning of the end again. So
we'll see what the MRI says, because if he misses a significant amount of time, which he's going to have to miss a week or two, and there's only 3 weeks left.
Right. Yeah, I think this ensures, I think this is a win-win for both sides. I think this ensures he starts the year on the IL.
Yeah. Yeah. Got to. That'd be crazy. So then decisions still to be made in camp as you continue to watch Yankees spring training. Third base. Front runner, Oswaldo Cabrera. Peraza is getting a run over there. And then left field. We were told that it is a straight-up competition, that it has not been given, and that Trent Grisham could win out getting a ton of starts over there. And Pereira looks good. And that's it, right? Last spot in the bullpen, but that's kind of going to be more of a roster game than anything else.
Yeah, the Dominguez stuff is funny because there's probably some Yankee fans that are shocked by hearing that, and we were a little bit too when we were just talking to different people around Tampa. But it's just tough because I understand the sentiment, and if I'm being honest, I think it's a little not through gritted teeth, but I think it's a little just generic statements because Trent is Trent, and we've done the PPP, and if we hear Trent's playing for 5 weeks, we're like, well, there's going to be some frustrating at bats, but he's going to get to the balls I expect him to get to. He's going to get to one ball I don't expect him to get to, and then he's going to turn on a couple balls or take a 5-pitch walk, and it's just like, okay, Trent Grisham's in the lineup. Jason Dominguez means so much potentially to what this team could be. Like, think about the daydreaming we've done about Dominguez locking up that left field spot for 5 years and everything that's gone and went through there. Like, dude, the way they've treated some players, if they don't give Dominguez a proper look, or even if they do opening day funny business, that's so getting in their own way just to do it.
Okay, but what if Dominguez continues, and it's spring, it's been 10 games or whatever
Right.
it is. What if he continues to look how he's looked? Like, is not hitting,
Right.
and he's
least not
not
yet.
fielding.
Dropped a few fly balls.
And I
guess
I'm just saying that as devil's advocate. I'm not trying to
No.
knock the kid. I want him to start. I think he can hit major league pitching. But like, I'm just saying he still has to make them
I would say the defense over the offense.
look smart. I agree.
Like if at spring training stats offensively or spring training stats, if the guy is struggling with routine fly balls, and we did when we were bopping around camp, people were like, hey, a couple of those Dominguez balls, hey, sun ball's a sun ball's a sun ball, but a couple of those balls weren't easy. That, again, he has the athleticism that we almost expect him compared to Alex Verdugo to make some like highlight plays. And I think if he plays 150 games this season, we would end up seeing that. But he's relatively newish to left field. Everyone says he's put in the work, which, I don't know, we haven't always heard that around Yankees camp, which is a little bizarre. But we've heard Dominguez is putting in the work. I would protect him more so over the defense in left field. Because if that's a problem, then send him to AAA and be like, dude, this is just honest. If Jason Dominguez has a beard and can't catch fly balls in left, he's going to get killed. He's going to get killed. Whether that's fair or not, kind of fair if you're not catching fly balls. We're over the beard thing. But yeah, I guess that's the thing that I'm interested in.
And who could even take his place?
But like if he's on the roster,
'Cause we were told like,
start
Grisham
Trent.
could platoon. Well, I think he's going to be on the roster. I think if he's on the roster, he's starting. If they're like, you need to play in AAA
Correct.
more.
Yeah, because if you're going to not play him every day, the only way he's going to get better on the defensive end is
like if
reps.
they send a message by having him on the roster, but Trent starts opening day, they're out.
I was having a debate with people in the office about Bellinger and Dominguez, left field, center field, where they were saying just play him in center and play Belly in left. And I was saying, then we're just doing the same thing we've been doing the last couple of years and pigeonholing ourselves into having one person that can play left. And we haven't even seen Bellinger out there,
Right.
where we've seen other
Got there
people
yesterday.
play left field. But I'm
spring
saying,
training game.
okay, come on. I've had other people play left field that had played it elsewhere, but trouble at Yankee Stadium left field.
Right.
Like Joey Gallo was a Gold Glover and very athletic. He should have been able to play Yankee left field.
A better left field.
A better left field. Like it shouldn't have been,
Correct.
oh, we can't put him there. So I do not want to get into, I'd rather him go to the minors for 2 months and learn left field and then have a full 6 years of service time with the Yankees where he can play it, then put him in center, and now he can't play left field the rest of his Yankee career like we did with Glaber, not moving around, and then he doesn't.
Yeah, I guess for me it feels like it's a weird conversation because you can land in different places. We've talked a lot about the Yankees getting in the way of their versatility. That In a perfect world, I wouldn't hate seeing Dominguez and Bellinger and left and center this year because you don't know what the team's going to look like at the end of the season. Like, you don't know what injuries are going to strike. You don't know what the trade deadline's going to offer.
If that's the end of the year rotation, that's great.
It'd be really nice to have, but it's the mindset of, okay, if Dominguez is on the team, which Dominguez has to be on the team. Like,
I agree.
He's an elite prospect. He showed a little bit at the MLB level. He's had injuries, and he's kind of what you need, like switch hitting, athletic talent, like kind of 5-tool light, which, again, those words could come back to be weird because he's still a prospect. But, like, what I was of the camp, either put him in center or put him in left. Because although I like the daydream of, okay, it's the end of the year and either can do either, and like, dude, Belly, are we going to see a Belly at first this year? Probably. Like, stuff's going to happen, right? Mm-hmm. And maybe that's when Dominguez gets a couple games at center to find out what that looks like. But I don't know. I did end up liking the thought process of Jason Dominguez, put him in left field. There's going to be growing pains. Dude, even, like, think about this. If there's growing pains in April, May, and June, but it gets better, that's what matters. Mm-hmm. Like, if he is an average left fielder by the end of this season in October, that is worthwhile. So I think that's what the Yankees thought. I think that's the right move. Would it be pretty cool if, okay, Goldie goes on the IL, Belly gets 10 starts in at first base this year, so that is checked off this year when we need it. Dominguez plays 10, 15, 20 games in center, so if we need that, that's like, yes, I think these are things.
I agree with all that.
That should happen.
I think by moving him and not making him learn left field now, you're kind of saying, well, this is never going to be something we make him learn. So yeah. I would rather do it now and not depart from it.
Yeah,
that's my point.
I guess I
think we're in agreement.
Yeah, no, the only part missing there would be how does Dominguez profile as a center fielder, and the fact that they're already willing to look at left field with him and Belly. I think
he can play center.
The right move.
You can see it's balls that come where he's got to break to his left towards center that he just has really bad routes to right now.
Yeah,
kind of running a direct line, and then they're like over his head. But they are also hot shots that we've seen.
Yeah, like the talk at camp was like some like. Yeah, unfortunately, he's been like a little too athletic for his own good, and like he's getting close to some balls that a lot of guys might not get close to, and then it looks even worse than it is.
I'll tell you what, that's a little spring training.
Yeah, I don't subscribe to that. I think he's looked really bad.
Yes, too athletic for his own good. I'm gonna asterisk that one.
It's Yankeefied.
That's rare. That's really rare. We weren't saying that about Jazz, who's a lot more athletic.
All right, what else is there to discuss here at spring? I have my game of what matters. I also want to start looking at lineups because the leadoff hitter is still something that we're talking about.
Whoa! Today's episode is sponsored by 5 Hour Energy. Hello! 5 Hour Energy shots help you feel alert and energized. Each shot is packed with vitamins, nutrients, as much caffeine as the leading premium coffee. Regular strength shot, 8-ounce cup of coffee. Extra strength shot, 12 ounces of coffee. 5 Hour Energy, little inside me and John, goes way back. I remember when these things started in college. They became a part of our lifestyle. Energy was happening. Jeff Passan. 5 Hour Energy shots are portable, convenient, and they go with you for that feeling of energy whenever and wherever you need it. So, we're springing forward soon. Grab a 5 Hour Energy to help you get through it. Grab the Hawaiian Breeze or Tropical Burst at 5hourenergy.com. Whoa.
And Jazz and Wells are getting run at leadoff.
Right. They like Wells.
And there's different thoughts. Like, I don't know. Wells sounds crazy to some because they want a speed element there. And he's like a pop bat.
Right.
But this is going to annoy people, and it's a comparison.
Yes.
Wells in July and August last year, I'd have to check the numbers, had that Schwarber leadoff profile.
Yeah.
I think he had like a 380 on base last July. Man. I think June, July, August, he had like a 350 on base, those 3 months combined.
Let's see.
which is what they think he's going to be, not to that level, but more around there is what they're hoping he is.
June 340, July 388, August 391.
So can you combine the three?
I sure can. Off the top of my head, I can't, but I'll go into the game logs.
I have 385 from June 5th through the end of August.
So it's
elite.
That's a thought where
elite.
Okay. Because what I like about that is if you can slide Jazz behind the sluggers and then the back of the lineup has more ball in play than we had last year.
Did you say ball in play?
Yeah. And then speed. So you can manufacture runs more for the bottom of the lineup where we've seen they don't really steal in front of Judge that much. So I'm not putting a vote in.
Right.
I'm just trying to explain that it might be a real thought process. When he said it, everyone kind of went like,
yeah,
what? But they think it could lend to that Schwarber-esque leadoff guy with the on base if Wells can do that, and you're not going to run anyway. Jazz also brings a ton to the table as leadoff, but those are the two guys. They've been leading off a lot.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Austin Wells profiles for what the Yankees are trying to do as a better leadoff hitter. It's just a weird thing in baseball, man. The leadoff catcher is crazy rare. It's like Jason Kendall or bust. Yeah, I mean that would feel weird to traditional Yankee fans, and all the good Austin Wells stats we talk about, they're bookended by a really slow start and a really rough finish. That it's interesting because you mentioned Schwarber a couple times. Like Wells' batting average was 299, like during that good stretch.
Yeah.
So it's Schwarber has become very like low 200s. He is trying to hit a home run. Wells had a very nice hitting profile that there's just no speed. It's a catcher. And it does bring up the conversation of, okay, if Judge is hitting second, well, that takes the speed element out of the game a little bit because you don't want to leave first base open, which part of me wants to do a deep dive on that because, I don't know, if you start a game with first and second, that feels good to me, like if they did pitch around Judge. But I guess pitch around means different things because they can be more aggressive pitching to the edges with Judge because they're not scared to walk them.
I think last year was a pretty good deep dive into when they would just put Judge and Soto on, and then
Wells ended up being the cure.
Yeah.
When he kind of slipped in and solidified the lineup in that 4-hole. So I think every Yankee fan should be open to it, and I hope it becomes a situation of let the results matter. Jazz is not going to be a high on base guy. I'm more bullish on Jazz this year than I was last year, not because we had an interesting handshake in the tunnel at spring training. I think he told us to be funny.
He said, be funny. Ah, damn it. I don't think we opened up funny.
He
said
funny.
Make more jokes.
Needs more jokes.
I opened up with a fake Mad Dog.
Oh, no, he doesn't know that.
He doesn't know that,
From
though.
Bahamas.
He just thinks I'm not. And I am. Spoiler. I'm his kid.
He's got a kid.
Jazz could have the best season of his career and have a 335 on base.
He's winning a Silver Slugger.
And he might with that number. Like his pop and his speed. Like if Jazz gets on at a 335 clip this year, that's good. Like Jazz had a really nice season. Austin Wells has more on-base potential, and it's just what do those at-bats feel like? Because, my God, man, if it is him leading off games before Judge, like, we're going to find out quick.
Yeah.
We're going to find out if you're first month Austin Wells last year or if you're summer Austin Wells. And if it's summer, it does set a tone, man, because I guess we hadn't really had that daydream just because we didn't think the Yankees would. Let's say it's good Wells. Like Judge.
Okay.
Love. Belly. We're all buying in. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Goldie. Why not? Jazz. That's a real top 5. And then you start to get into the wild cards a little bit between Volpe, Dominguez, who's on for all that. But, like, that it could work. You can see the vision. It might not.
And the people who like a speed element lead off, like we've over the years seen the Yankees try different things, but sometimes they like don't want guys that'll steal in front of Judge and then they just walk him.
Well,
Wells doesn't need to do that.
Glaber was
Glaber?
leadoff, and he was the worst base runner
Yeah.
on the roster.
Right?
It was almost like, hey, Glaber, stay still.
Please don't.
You don't got to push
Please
anything.
don't. Stand on the base.
Okay.
Little league style.
I got some numbers.
Love that.
The leadoff, dong, dang, ding, da, ding, 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 da, dong, ding, ding.
Couple noises from you today.
I know, stalling because I am interested in this, and as we go to spring, I'm setting up like a Google sheet here that'll help me track it.
Okay.
Because what I'm interested in is their lineups, obviously.
Loves the lineup.
And I think they've tipped their hand lately. So the last 6-7 games, leadoff, Jazz, Wells, Jazz, Wells, Jazz, Wells. The last 8 games. Now the first 5 games of the year before Wells started playing, Dominguez, Rice, Jazz, Rice.
What's Ben Rice's deal?
I don't know.
Social media star this offseason.
I know. Him and Spence
From
getting
MLB Maine.
tons of love. Yeah, I think they thought it was like
I like it.
actually heartfelt.
It was.
In a way, friends
Yeah.
complimenting each other.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that shocking. So Jazz has let off 5 times, Rice 3 times, Wells 3 times. And then Belly, where's Belly been hitting? This is a good question.
I feel like Belly. Saw him homer.
Has he been hitting third? He batted second once.
Has he played a game with Judge yet? Maybe last night?
Last night.
She shared Bellinger 5 times he's batted third. So he batted second, and then every other time he said he's batted third. So it seems like you're going to get Wells or Jazz leading off, then Judge, Boone said he's batting second, then Belly. Seems like we have kind of done that.
Opening day, you got a lean?
Wells has it today.
+1.
+1. Trying to see who's got it the most. It's like spread out. Dominguez twice, Volpe twice, Reyes twice. So they're not really using it, it seems like right now. It just looks like the next big leaguer that they want to get a lot of at-bats is batting cleanup in spring.
Right.
Because I don't see Cabrera, Volpe, Escara, Reyes batting cleanup. Now,
I tend to agree.
Goldie's done it once, and Ben Rice has done it once.
Ben Rice, a little more meat on that bone.
Yeah, that's true. We said that. And then other people said, yeah, it looks big. Rice was who was in Rice's hitting group? DJ was in it, and Rice, and then 2 guys we didn't know and we couldn't figure
Weren't
out.
super familiar with.
Yeah, we asked a bunch of the beat. So it was like, are there minor leaguers or NRI that
Rice
No
looks
one
similar to
I
DJ.
forget which day.
Rice, the sound off his bat. Like Rice put the rest of his batting group to shame.
Yeah.
A Judge would have put Rice to shame. Judge BP is unbelievable. I want to get decimal readings on, we always talk about the crack of the bat.
Spencer Jones. The pop is real.
Yeah.
Figure out the game a little bit, but
So Jones, Volpe, Pereira have been 5th. So I think the first 3 are kind of telling us something, and then the rest, we have to wait till the lineups get deeper than 4 MLB
Agreed.
guys.
Yeah, it's still early enough in spring. That's like there's just not enough MLB guys to take anything seriously after that as far as like
Pablo Reyes.
lineup.
Okay, do you want to play my game, Jake?
Yes.
Okay, take a quick break.
Let's play a game.
And then we're going to play a game called Does This Matter?
Who's scoring big this NBA season? You are, with all new ways to get in on the action with our partners at the DraftKings Sportsbook. Right now, all new customers who bet just $5 will get $150 in bonus bets instantly when you use code YANKS. From monster slams, dishing the rock, cleaning the glass, get behind your favorite players, and prop bets you can make at DraftKings, the home of NBA player props. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers, use code YANKS. Bet just $5 on any wager and get $150 in bonus bets instantly. That's code YANKS only at DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
I've got a ton of spring training stats here.
Okay.
And you have to tell me if it matters or it doesn't matter. Those are your options, but then you can, if you need to fudge one option up or smear it, you can. But I'm going to go rapid fire. I have a lot written down.
So I can smear it?
You could say a little bit.
Okay, so it doesn't have to be hard
doesn't
yes
have to
or
be
no.
hard yes or no.
Maybe I'll give myself like 3 middles.
Maybe. You ready?
I think so.
I put some on here that
Okay.
I think are firm, don't matter.
Okay.
And then I want to see where you land. Okay, ready? Here we go. Spring training stats as of now. Do these matter? Bellinger, 438 on base percentage with 0 walks.
Matters.
Dominguez has led the team in plate appearances.
Matters.
Expand on that one.
I think we already did.
Yeah.
I think we already did that.
Judge has a 100% whiff percentage versus righty pitchers thus far. 2 plate appearances, 1 swing.
I'm gonna put that in the no column for now.
Okay. Peraza, second most plate appearances, tied with Belly and Volpe.
Yes. That matters.
Peraza, 16 plate appearances, 0 extra base hits, 1 walk.
No, but it's the first one on the gray.
Okay. Jazz leads the team in walks.
Doesn't matter.
Goldschmidt, 13 plate appearances, 0 walks, 7 Ks.
Doesn't matter.
Bellinger faced 19 two-strike pitches, 3 hits, only 2 strikes, swinging. No, only 2 strikes.
What are only 2 strikes?
He's faced 19 two-strike pitches.
Okay.
He has 3 hits on those, and he's only swung and missed twice.
Twice.
Or he swung and missed once, caught looking once. So he's struck out twice on 19 potential strike 3 pitches.
I'm gonna put that as a maybe.
Duke Ellis.
First maybe.
Duke Ellis has a 57% whiff rate on 2-strike pitches, 14 pitches.
It doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter. He's a pinch runner. Volpe, 55.6% whiff rate on 2-strike pitches, 21.
Doesn't matter.
Okay. Volpe, 16 plate appearances, 0 walks.
In the middle.
Dom Smith.
Can matter if that continues.
Can matter if it continues.
Yes.
Dom Smith, 4 hits, 2 homers.
That matters a lot, I think.
Lombard Jr., 3 hits, 2 homers.
Doesn't matter.
But nice.
Really nice.
And you're
for
happy
George.
for him.
Yes.
Okay.
We discussed a tweet last night in the Talkin Yanks chat that Eric Hosmer, former Royals player, Padre,
Interviewed you?
Yeah, we were on Digging Deep with him. We always laugh when someone's like hopping into the baseball internet streets, especially now because it's just pure chaos. But he posted that George Lombard's going to be in play for the Yankees next year. I'll bet him on that, and he'd like that. I'll bet him a show dinner that George Lombard is not on the New York Yankees this year.
Okay. Pereira has reached 6 times this spring, second highest of all Yankees.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
Pereira.
Mm-hmm.
Like saying that.
Okay.
Yes. The Yankees are running out of bats and options.
Boone keeps talking about wanting a righty hitter available.
He wants a righty.
Okay. Oswaldo Cabrera, 4 plate appearances versus lefty pitchers, 11 plate appearances versus righty pitchers.
No.
Does not matter?
No.
Okay. Sean Boyle, 5.3 innings pitched, 0 ERA.
Might matter. He was getting me bored one of the games we were there, but his stats are nice, and that's what we ask for.
Rodon, 2 starts, 10.13 ERA.
Does not matter.
Will Warren, 5 innings pitched, 0.0 ERA, 1 hit, 1 walk, 7 Ks.
Significantly matters.
That's all I got.
Okay.
seems like if you are on limbo, are you going to have a role with the team or not? Your stats matter more than if you're secure. And people play like that. Like I told, like Rodon pitching it like literally could not matter. I could just be throwing pitches to figure out what he's got. Not trying to
it
get
normally
Just trying
lands
to build
on
up.
you need to see like one. Like you need to see Rodon give you 3 good innings, and you're like, okay, that can happen.
Yeah.
You get roughed up all this spring. I don't care what any MLB guy says.
the J Happ story.
Not good. He was great.
Remember that spring?
Partially.
He got like, because I'm a big defender of like, hey, vets just do their thing.
Right.
J Happ had a spring that was so bad. I think it was last year with the Yankees that I was like, oh, I don't know, man. And then he did have a bad season. So you don't want that. You don't want that. Okay, thanks for playing. Does this matter?
Problem. Do you disagree with any of my answers?
No, not really. Jazz leading the team in walks was interesting to me because he's the only one walking. I feel like as hitters go, it seems the Yankees, or maybe all of baseball, these first 2 weeks, everyone's just trying to find a feel for the ball and bat to ball. So no one has a lot of walks, but Jazz, who maybe he wants the leadoff spot and he's working on that.
Tracking.
And just tracking. But no one else is like tracking.
Bored.
Yeah, because I was
bored.
No one else has walks on the team.
I think Jazz,
I don't think it matters, but it interests me. I guess that's a better way to phrase it.
half rude to our new friend Jazz. If I watch the at-bats, I would. How many walks does he have?
Well, it's really not going to matter when I say that number.
How many walks does he have?
4.
I would bet at least 2 of them are boredom.
Could be. I wonder if they're when he's leading off.
Hey, if he's trying to sell it to Skip, I'm about that.
Like, let me find.
I've got a great eye.
Let me find Jazz stats.
I got 2 of them.
2 great ones.
Were you guys watching the spring training game still at the point where they played his interview? One, pretty funny because you can see us in the background. They recorded it while we were there.
Whoops.
Dude, he was talking about, like, I have competition with Judge on, and he listed, like, all these stats, but not RBIs because I'm going to be the one scoring for him, so I don't want that one to be a competition.
Smart.
And that was the one where I fired off my, like, Jazz sounds like a guy who's been told he's going to lead off some games tweet.
You gonna.
Let's see. Okay, so in the first inning, Jazz, it's not so hot. The stats of his first inning at bats.
Are you coming more to the no side?
No, I'm just saying maybe he doesn't want to lead off. Because really, when's your guaranteed lead off? It's the first inning of the game. He's 0 for 6 with no walks. So maybe he's not about leading off. Can't get into the game. Is he seeing pitches? I don't know. 4 pitches the first time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pitches the next time. Okay, so he's gotten better. Struck out on a fastball. Looks right down the middle. The map of this called strike says it was dead red down the middle. 1-2 pitch to lead off the game. Let's see. Oh, they're setting up inside. Maybe it's got
late run.
Dude. That's the video. So MLB has been clipping their videos. The algorithm they use is wrong. So you go to watch it, and they just have the seconds before the pitch, which is good stuff.
A real tease, huh?
1,
Preseason
2,
for
3,
everyone, huh?
4, 5, 6. Holy smokes. You seeing what's happening here?
This is what the pitch could lead up to.
His first leadoff at bat, 4 pitches.
Right.
His second leading off the game at bat, 5 pitches. His third leading off at bat, 6 pitches. Are you catching on to the pattern?
I think so.
And then his... Oh, I fucked it up. And everyone hates me. It was 4, then 1. Ground line down on the first pitch. Then 4 again. So I blew it. The whole thing's... and then 1 again. So I blew the whole thing.
The whole thing's fucked. Subscribe.
God damn it.
Yeah.
I blew the whole thing. Bummer. All right. Anything else we need to discuss?
I don't think so.
Okay. What's the lineup today?
The lineup today.
Wells, Goldie, Josan, Escara, Cabrera, Reyes, Vivas, Lombard, Jones. That's young. Are they on the road?
Believe. I can't tell.
Did they play a night game yesterday?
Night game last night.
That's why this looks like more of a road lineup, but then Goldie's there. I'm like, they didn't make Goldie travel with the kids, did
If it's a
they?
road game, it's Phillies who are pretty close.
But also
So that
night game
helps.
yesterday, so they had their workout. Because, I
Like
mean,
nobody from last night's gonna run it again. Basically, Lombard is.
he's young.
This might be his last game.
Yeah.
Will Warren on the mound? Don't believe he said.
Oh,
it.
maybe both of them?
Will Warren.
No, Will stays.
Yeah,
He's
Will-
on the 40 man.
Yeah, Will stay the whole camp. All right. Leave a comment. Bye. Tell 'em
Go
thanks.
Yankees.
Nice.
Comment something that matters to you, or
Comment.
doesn't.
We read every comment.
I do.
I don't know. Don't.